الحمد لله والشكر لله.
الله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبه نستعين. آمين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري وهل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Brothers and sisters in Islam and all the honorable viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Kareem, Allahu Akram. You are welcome to this program. The program is intended to be a tafsir during the month of Ramadan, the great month of Ramadan. Inshallah al-Kareem, we will be reading from the Holy Quran, and inshallah al-Kareem, we will be endeavor to tell you the meaning and the interpretation of whatever we have read. We will also, inshallah al-Kareem, let you know what the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has said about what you have read. You are most welcome on board. This period, as we all know, is a special period, is a most important period. There is no other month from the 12th lunar calendar that Muslims are commanded, decreed to fast the whole month, except the month of Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said a lot about the month of Ramadan. Why he has asked us to fast, and the gains we will reap from this fasting, inshallah al-Kareem. If you are interested, you may pick the copy of Holy Quran with you. Open to chapter 2, that is Surah Al-Baqarah. Then we begin from verse 183. 183, 184, and I think 185 are the verses that give us the rules, the regulations, the decree to fast in the month of Ramadan. If you have opened your own Holy Quran, as I have opened mine, let us begin to do the job, inshallah. May the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us in His fear, His consciousness, and may He, the Almighty Allah, accept all these we are doing as acts of ibadah and reward us accordingly, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Allah is saying that, O you who believe. When Allah says, O you who believe, it is me, it is you. Allah is calling us because we believe in Allah. The reason why we are fasting is because we believe in Him. We also believe in all the divine orders He has given. So He's now reminding us. He's now telling us that, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, those of you who believe, kutiba alaykumus siyamu, kutiba alaykumus siyamu. It has been decreed that you should fast. It has been decreed that you should fast. It has been ordered that you should fast. Kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. You are not only the generation that have asked to fast. Those who came before you, they too fasted. You remember the Lenten period of our brother Christian, sister Christian. They uphold 40-day fast. And that is the fast of our prophet, Prophet Isa, alayhi salatu wassalam, otherwise known as Jesus Christ. He fasted, and it's also the decree also is what the people, the generation, the Muslims of that time of Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, too fasted. So Allah is now giving us a reference point that I have asked you to fast, and it's not you only that I'm now asking to fast. I have ever ordered generations before you that they should fast, and they fasted. لعلكم تتقون. The purpose of the fast is that if you do it diligently, if you do it seriously, if you are mindful of the fast, and you follow all the rules and regulations binding the fast in the month of Ramadan, Allah is saying that from there, certainly you will be conscious of Allah. You will learn how to fear God. You will learn how to be conscious of Allah and His rules and regulations. Here, let us pause briefly and give a little interpretation to what we have read so far. You and I are witnesses that in the month of Ramadan, most of the sins we commit in other months, in other 11 months remaining, we reduce or don't even do it in the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, those people, our women, our girls, who have chosen prostitution as their way of life, as a profession, all of them, no exception, all of them will be on vacation. Dama, Allah has told us that, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, La taqrabu zina, innahu kana fahisha wa sa'a sabila. Never you go near fornication or adultery, because it's a bad way to follow. If this sermon is given in other months other than the month of Ramadan, it will not have any effect, because you see brothels all around. That is where the prostitutes, they practice their profession. But in the month of Ramadan, everybody, including the prostitutes, you see, become godly. They become godly. Those men who patronize them also become godly. Not only that, my brothers, my sisters, you will also observe that other than the month of Ramadan, other than in the month of Ramadan, well, most Muslims, I'm sorry to say, most Muslims engage in drinking alcohol. Name it. They go for Gouda, they go for Heineken, they go, you know it. Even in addition, they do more. They take wee in their hemp. But in the month of Ramadan, everybody respects this month. They don't go near it. They don't go near it. This is why, during the month of Ramadan, every place is peaceful. Even the robbers, the armed robbers, the thieves, they too are on vacation. They fear God that time. This is why you can travel in the night between where we are now, Ilori, and Maiduguri with peace. Nobody is stopping you. Nobody is kidnapping you. Nobody is abducting you. All those bad acts don't happen during the month of Ramadan. And that is the essence of us being God conscious. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Not only that, activities like behaviors like hating your brothers, hating your sisters, all these are gone during the month of Ramadan. What preoccupies you and me is, when will I break the fast? So you think around that. What also engages me and you too is want to know more about Allah. Therefore, you attend Tafsir, you attend lectures, you listen to recitation of the Quran. Even all our media, they assist us a lot during this period. Most of their programs, either sponsored or station programs, they focus more on how to fear God. So even if you are the type of person who listens to pop music, no pop music during Ramadan. That is the interpretation of لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. From there, you may pick the lesson of how to fear God, how to be God conscious. Let us proceed. Allah says, that is verse 184 now, Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah says, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. صدق الله العظيم. I have read from verse 2, chapter 2, verse 184. Allah is now saying that since I have asked you to fast, I have decreed that you fast, I have commanded you that you fast, then how do you do it? You should fast أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ, for days that are limited. For days that are limited. Regarding this, I just have to remind you, not that you don't know. We fast in the month of Ramadan. At times, we fast for 30 days. At times, we fast for 29 days. This is what Allah is referring to as Ayyaman Ma'adudatin. It's either 29 or 30. Let me chip in here. My brother viewer, my sister viewer, I want to chip in here. The argument of the fact that we must fast for 30 days, or we are fasting for only 29 days for a very long time. We have been fasting for 29 days. Why? For my people and my congregation, they should be fasting for 30 days. Or I will pick the day we will start the fast, and I will pick the date we will end the fast. All these are not normal under Islamic law. Ayyama ma'adudatin means that you calculate. You use lunar calendar to calculate. You don't use Gregorian calendar to calculate. And if you use lunar calendar to calculate, Sayyidina Muhammad said, Sumu. All of you should fast. All of you should fast. If the days of Sha'ban are 30 days or 29 days, and you are able to sight the moon, then begin the fast. we should not be using our whims and caprices. That's the point. We should not say this is how we will do it. We have to do it the way Allah has asked us to do it. The 29 we fast, 29 days, the 30 days we fast, all these are the decree of God. We may even be fasting for 29 days until eternity. That doesn't mean that we must, on our own, say it must be 30 days. You see, you use the lunar calendar. You look at the moon. When the moon is sighted, you begin to fast. When when Sha'ban is 28 or 29, you begin to, when Ramadan is 28 or 29, you begin to look up to see whether another moon will sight. And that is the month of Sha'ban. The month of Shawwal. So if it is sighted, then the next day is the Eid day. It may be like this for a very long time. What I'm saying is that it is not necessary that the month of Ramadan must always be 30 days. So for those of us who tell our people we are going to fast for 30 days, mindless of whether the moon has been sighted or not, it is not correct. That is ayyama ma'dudatin for you. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا. Allah is now giving us a kind of relief, that if any of you is sick during this period, وَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or is embarking on a journey, a lawful journey, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. When the fast, the month of Ramadan is gone, then you have to refund the number of days you have missed. Let me interpret. You may be a traveler, you may be a businessman. You travel a lot through the nooks and crannies of Nigeria or even beyond. And you feel that no, I cannot keep with this type of journey, I cannot keep this fast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits you to uphold it until you are back, or the Ramadan is gone, then you take the number of days you have missed. Let me cite an example that affected me when I was going for my NYC in 1980-81. Precisely July 1980. I was going to the then Benue State to begin the National Service. When we got to Lokoja, I was told, which I've never heard, I've never seen in life, that we will have to cross River Niger to Shintaku. There's a town called Shintaku. We have to cross to Lokoja by way of ferry. The transport there, up till now, you have to use ferry. It's a kind of boat to cross to the other side. I've never seen a ferry in life. I've never seen a very big river like that, River Niger. You know, it is in Lokoja that River Niger and Benue, they came together with the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the water is too mighty for me. I was thinking that, will we be able to cross this river without maybe having an accident? I missed the river and then die. As I was thinking about this, Allah reminded me of this verse. That ayyama ma'dudatin. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. I was on safar, legitimate one. I was going to serve the nation. فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. You can break that fast. I broke that fast by buying just bread and a bottle of Coca-Cola. I ate and I felt very good. At the end of that year's Ramadan, I refunded only one day, which I missed. So do not say, my brothers, my sisters listening to me and even watching me, Do not say that, no. To travel from here to say you are going to Ghana, or you want to go to the UK, and even you use plane to go to UK. So for that reason, you want to keep your fast. You can keep it if you want to keep it, but it's not compulsory. It is not compulsory. And if you break that fast and you are asked why, you now quote this verse that Allah said, وَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. There must be itminan. There must be peace of mind before you can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is saying that if you travel or you are sick, when you come back from the journey, when the month of Ramadan is over, then you have to refund what you have missed. وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ. This is another law. This is another rule. وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ. Those who are old enough not to fast. They are not travelers, but they have become very old. They cannot fast. I'll start another example. My mother is very old. She's still alive. Alhamdulillah. Before I even came to do this recording, she was to take her breakfast. And she was asking me to come and join her to take breakfast. My mother. She could not fast. She didn't even know the period again. She's so old that she couldn't figure that we are in the month of Ramadan. And that was why, honestly, and naturally, and sincerely, she was asking me to join her to take breakfast. You see? Those who are old enough that they cannot fast, fidyatun ta'am miskin. What you do is ransom. It is ransom. Fidyatun ta'am miskin. Fidyatun means ransom. And this ransom means that on behalf of my mother, who is unable to fast, I'll have to look for a poor person and give that person enough food to take care of one meal, only one meal. It may be iftar, breaking of fast meal, or it may be sahur meal, just one meal. Then, which means another practical example. I have paid to a very poor person around my area now for the first 10 days of Ramadan. That is ransom on behalf of my mother. If you do have old men or old women around you, don't force them to fast. Don't force them to fast. Allah has exempted them from fasting. Whoever is old enough not to fast, fidyatun, you just pay ransom. Now, Allah says further that faman tatawwa'a. But like Allah has decreed that we fast, and we are fasting, inshallah. Allah will cause us to finish the fast, inshallah, in peace and harmony. But supposing after the end of Ramadan, faman tatawwa, you want to add a few days more. We call it Sitta Shawwal. You want to add a few days more. You are allowed. That is tatawwa. Even in our language, we say tatawwa, voluntary fast. That is voluntary fast. You can do it. Because Allah says, فَمَنْ تَطَوَّى خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. Whoever is doing it in good faith. Certainly, Allah says, that is beautiful. It is good for him. I will reward him accordingly. وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Brothers and sisters, Allah is repeating once again that for you all, including myself, to fast is good for us. It's good for us. لَوْ كُنْتُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If we know that, I want to interpret that a little bit. Please, if you have a medical doctor very close to you, ask him or her about the values, the gains of fasting. A lot of sicknesses, a lot of it, get cured during fasting. And I should remind you that if you have the need to go through operation, some kinds of operation. They will ask you to suspend eating and drinking for a while, so that before they operate on you. If doctors want to test your blood, they tell you, we know this, I'm not a medical doctor, we know this because we have been part of it, we have been ordered, we have been directed to do that. They will say, if you want to come to do a test, including testing your blood, they say after 8 p.m. in the night, you stop eating, stop drinking. Then in the next day, come to hospital without you eating and drinking. That is fasting. Then they will now take your blood and they will now do whatever they want to do with it. Inshallah al-Karim, we will find time to let you know more about the values of fasting, either during or after Ramadan. فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا. I want to repeat that again. Not only Sitta Shawwal. If you want it, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. If you want to do it, it's fine. But there are other tatawa, plenty of them, that I'll give some examples. Some of us fast on Mondays and Thursdays. That is tatawa. That is voluntary fast. فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. If you're able to do that, it's good for you. We have the recommended fasting too. When our brothers and sisters are on Mount Arafah, on Arafat day, those of us who are not there, it is recommended that we keep fast for that day. That's another example of voluntary fast. Let me add more. The lunar month, the 13th, 14th, and 15th lunar month, you can keep fast during these 3 days. We call it Ayyamul Bid. You can fast. You can also fast if you think you want to ask Allah to give you a few things. You know what you are looking for. Then you now say, God, I want to fast. Or if you give me what I've asked you to give me, I will fast for these days to thank you. We call it Siyamun Nadri. Siyamun Nadri. It is also, in this case of Siyamun Nadri, it becomes compulsory for you to fast. Because you have promised. Because you have taken decision that if Allah does this, you will do that. So you must do that. So quite a number of voluntary fasts. See our learned scholars. They will tell you more about it. For time, let us move ahead. Allah says, He continues, regarding this month of Ramadan. Allah says, verse 185 now. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah says شهر Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, which we are in now. I think today is the 6th day in the month of Ramadan for this year, 1441 AD, 2020, year 2020. Allah says, شهر Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, in which we revealed the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran was revealed in its entirety during the month of Ramadan. Allah is saying that if you know, you may not know. Let me tell you, it is Hudan. This month is Hudan. The Nas is a month that I've decreed that should assist you to know the way, to know the right way to follow. Like I said earlier on, We don't drink alcohol in the month of Ramadan. We don't patronize the prostitute's house in the month of Ramadan. All these are teaching us Hudan, to know the way. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ, and it's giving us a lot of explanations regarding the way we are to trend, wal-furqan, and mark it. The month of Ramadan is also al-furqan. It distinguishes between wrong and right. It lets us know what is correct and what is not correct. So, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ, whoever is alive, healthy, whoever is alive, whoever witnesses that month, as we are now witnessing it, inshallah. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ, whoever witnesses the month, whoever is alive during the month, فَلِيَسُمُهُ, he should fast it. He should use the whole month to fast. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا, once again, whoever is sick, أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or is on a journey, a legitimate journey, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, he has to reform the number of days he missed after the end of Ramadan. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ, Allah says, to fast is to keep your stomach hungry. Hunger is not good. Hunger is not good. So Allah is now telling us quickly that I want peace for you. I want ease. I want ease for you. I do not mean to give you hardship. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ, I do not intend to give you hardship. وَلِتُكِمِلُ الْعِدَّةَ, make sure that the moment you begin to fast, begin to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, until the month ends. Until the month ends. After the month has ended, وَلِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. This is the principle, this is the basis of our going to Eid al-Fitr. لِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. That you should continue to praise, you continue to elevate, you continue to shout the names of Allah in the loudest voice you can make, because He has guided you to this path. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, that you may remain ever grateful to Almighty Allah. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, Allah now asking the Prophet ﷺ that when my servants, that is those of us who are Muslims, we are servants of Allah, when we ask Anni, when we ask about God, we are not seeing Him. We don't know where He is. We don't know, although scholars tell us, and it is also stated in the Quran that Allah is upstairs, is up in the sky, after the seventh sky. That's where He lives. But they are not seeing Him. They will be asking you about me. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, tell them that I'm very close to them. Very, very close. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ, I hear and respond to the prayer, the supplication of whoever is supplicating to God. I'm very close. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, we Muslims must express our faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what you may know be. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ, that is the way for us to be guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A short interpretation of this verse is that Muslims the world over, all of us, should have only Allah as our target when you are praying, when you are asking Allah to give you something. Don't ask God through means which He abhors. There is what we call shirku. Shirku, that is polytheism. Do not go by way of one sheikh or one mullah. No, go straight to God. Ask Allah straight by yourself that Allah, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. I want you to keep me off the sharri, the evils. Ask directly. Allah is now saying that if you ask directly, I will answer you as I'm answering those who have been asking about me. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. Now, another law. أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرفث إلى نسائكم. Allah says that He has made it for us. He has allowed us that during the night of Ramadan, you can move close, you can play with, you can have sexual intercourse with your wives, nisaikum, your wives. It is allowed. Play with her, have sex with her, and romance her. This is in the night of Ramadan, not in the daytime. Hunna libasun lakum. Allah is saying philosophically that our wives are like clothes that we use to sleep with, as obura. Wa antum libasun lahunna, and you too, that is men, also we are like libasu, as obura, for them. Alima Allahu annakum kuntum takhtanuna anfusakum. I know that if I don't put this law there, I know that you may be deceiving yourselves and be doing what I would not like you to do. This is why I allow you to play with your wife during the night of Ramadan and do any other halal things with her, and they too with you. So fataba alaykum, Allah says He has forgiven us for doing that. Wa afa ankum, He has also allowed us to keep what we are now keeping. Fal'ana, Allah says, but now, bashiruhunna, you can play with them, you can ask them to come closer to you, wabtaghu ma kataba Allahu lakum, and seek the favors of Allah that He has put there for you. Fakulu washrabu, during the month of Ramadan, you will eat, you can drink, hatta yatabayyana lakum al-khaytu al-abyadu min al-khayti al-aswadi. Simply put, from when the night comes, that is during Maghrib time, you can be eating, you can be drinking halal until Fajr, until when it is the time for Al-Fajr prayers. Now, thumma atimmu siyama, very close to Fajr, you stop eating, then begin to fast. Ila layli, until Maghrib time. Wala tubashiruhunna, during this time, you don't have to play, you don't have to have sexual intercourse with your wives. That is between close to Fajr time and the end of Maghrib time. Again, wala tubashiruhunna wa antum aakifuna bil masajidi. This is another law entirely, that for those of you who perform itikaf during the month of Ramadan, you do not have right to get close to your wives, romance them, have sexual intercourse with them. You don't do that. Tilka hududullah. Allah says, these are my limits. Fala takrabuha, we have to guard it. We should not move near it. We should not say Allah is just saying His own, the way He's saying it. I will do my own. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ آيَاتِهِ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is how He is explaining to us His signs, so that we may attain peace and we may attain succor. My brother, my sisters, this is going to be the end of today's tafsir, inshallah.
الحمد لله والشكر لله الحمد لله والشكر لله